Alright, guys, welcome back to J and J's Next Play. I am Julio Esplugas, and alongside with me, I got my host.
I'm Juan. Oh, thank you for having me. Oh,
Here
wait,
we
never
go.
mind.
Here,
I'm part
here
of this
we here we go
podcast.
with this guy's
Oh,
pie and sauce. Dog.
man.
Here we go.
I'm glad to be back.
All
Glad
right,
to make the second day. I'm glad I made the tryouts. Oh, thank you everybody for having me once again.
who said this tryout is something you co-created, fool?
Oh, I
Any.
forgot about that.
All right, guys. Anywho, for those of you who gave us a listen on our first episode, we appreciate it. Again, we're gonna try doing this at least once a week. We're also gonna go live very soon on when we start playing video games, which is gonna lead us today to our first topic, which is video games in general. So to give you guys a little bit of brief background, me and Juan do play video games. Right now, we are in an epic journey when it comes to FIFA 25. Juan, you want to talk a little bit about FIFA 25 and what happened yesterday we were playing?
Oh, sometimes I choose not to talk about that pain because it does cause a lot of trauma in my day-to-day life. And makes me wake up very frustrated the next day, and sometimes it even ruins my day. But we are on a journey, on a progressing journey. Julio was not always a FIFA player. He's had to progress his skills and has had to make it get higher to the point where we could actually compete. And he has. I'm not gonna lie. He's gotten better. He's gotten better. He still has, some smack talking to do about my chip game, even though my chip game has saved us some games. But anyway, I'll let Julio continue on this one.
So you're trying to say, Dub, that we could have had more success, but you're blaming my skills in the game? Is that what it is?
Oh, of course not, man. How am I gonna blame my co-host here? Like, what kind of chemistry are we trying to build here, bro? Like, what is this? Like,
Well,
we're not trying to pin us against each other.
all right, Dub, but before I elaborate a little bit, did you break something yesterday when we were playing FIFA 25?
I almost did actually. I again, this gets very intense. Sometimes I choose not to talk about this trauma in my life, but sometimes the game gets so aggravating, and yesterday it really got to me to the point where there was a really hard storm going on outside, and I think it was a sign. I honestly think it was a sign that I needed to step away because my power actually went out 3 times. I
Yeah,
tried
so
restarting the console once, but it went out 3 times. You know what? They say something about 3 strikes, you're out. So I was done for the damn day.
yeah, guys. Yesterday we were playing and all I heard was something crack in the background. I'm like, Juan, you good? And then this man did not speak for like 5 minutes. Yesterday was a rough day, chat. Yesterday, we lost like what, 3 games in a row. We played at night again, 2 more games and we won.
We
But
don't
that,
have to disclose that information.
oh, we don't have to disclose our losses, just our wins. That's how we're gonna
Yes,
do this. But
only the wins.
yeah, guys. Yesterday was a rough day, and to be honest, I do plan on going live soon when me and Juan continue playing FIFA because our goal
Oh my God,
ultimately is to
I'm
get to
not sure if
Division
you're just
One.
into this
I'm
type of
not gonna
thing.
disclose at the moment what division we are in, but anywho, again talking about video games, me and Juan also play Call of Duty, and I don't know about you guys that are listening to this, if you're currently playing the most recent one that came out, but I did stop playing it because I got bored of it after a while. Very gimmicky. It got boring very quickly. And being on social media, I've seen a lot of the hate. I guess the new one is getting. And to be honest, for for podcast purposes, I've actually stayed away from the trailer. And Juan, so have you, haven't you?
From the trailer, yes. That game in particular has also caused trauma in my life. Ever since I started seeing Ninja Turtles as characters, it did make me hesitate about thinking, what are we doing here? Is this a war game or we're trying to bring, childhood memories back into this? And not to mention, we do play as Real Madrid in FIFA, and Kylian Mbappe looks like a Ninja Turtle, but you know.
He does look like a Ninja Turtle. But for those type of purposes, I'm actually not gonna share on my screen the uh the trailer to Call of Duty, and due to the fact that it's very young and early in our podcast careers, the last thing I want to do is get an email from Activision, which would be ironic because I did send them a lot of emails when I got banned from talking the last Call of Duty, and they never wrote back to me. So it'd be kind of ironic if they write me now saying, "Hey, we're gonna copyright your video because you used our audio." So for those purposes, I'm just gonna
I think
show
you
the.
just kind of got your answer as to why they never answered you back. They got tired of hearing from you.
Thanks, Juan. Appreciate it, bro. I mean, listen, it is what it is. I'm done with that. I was done with the last Call of Duty, but let's see this trailer real quick, Juan. Let's engage in it. So as I play the trailer, we're just gonna briefly give our feedback as we're watching and how we're feeling about it, and then afterwards, I will show the Battlefield 6 one, which is getting a lot of hype. We'll briefly discuss about that, and then we'll move on to the next topic. But here is Call of Duty Black Ops 7, and off rip,
Black
I'm already
Ops 7.
not
I
liking
feel
it.
like they're like
Here we go.
Apple at this point, trying to make so many iPhones.
Here we go. Look at this nonsense. So we're going back to the future. It seems like. All right, come on,
The
COD. You gotta, yeah,
green and the
20. Look at
natural.
that, 2035. Mira para allá.
Yeah, yeah, the AI has made it into Call
Oh,
of Duty.
mira,
Yeah.
the human against the robots. We're not playing Terminator. Here we go.
ChatGPT is gonna have its own character. I can't wait.
Oh my God, what is this? I swear to God, bro, if I see any type of jetpacking, I'm done. I might not even finish the video.
Dun 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 dun. No,
I don't know why in the trailer they emphasize so much on the story mode that no one plays, because they know damn well that everyone goes
Caragua.
straight into multiplayer. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Does anybody out there really play the story mode? Mira, pa' allá.
I used to be an all-time story mode player, but eventually I just went straight to multiplayer.
Well, it also depends the game. Here we, mira, what?
Oh, we're on jetpacks. You called it. We're on jetpacks. Here we
And
go. We're
he's writing
flying.
on the wall. Mira, they brought back hijack in Tokyo. Okay. Mira, Alaska.
Alaska. I've always wanted to go to Alaska, actually.
Oh my God, they brought back the wingsuits. They're fighting. What is this?
I'm just
Oh,
thankful we haven't seen any Ninja Turtles yet.
yeah. Again, they always bring back Woods and Mason from Black Ops. Those are gonna be some overused characters at some point. Like, yo, no originality.
I think the female character that kind of looked like robotic, I'm
Mira,
gonna
mira,
name her
mira, mira,
Chachi.
mira, mira.
Well, that's the trailer. Oh,
And of
what
course,
is that?
look, skins. Yeah, there we go back with the skins. Yeah, look, 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 look,
Funny,
look, look.
ChatGPT has siblings.
I can already
Oh,
tell I'm not gonna play this game much, if I play it at all. With
you
that
gotta give
being,
it a shot, bro. You gotta give it a shot. You can never knock it down
you
until
know
you give it a
what?
shot.
Let's look at the Battlefield one. Maybe Battlefield has a little bit more hope. Let's look at the Battlefield one. Oh, I almost forgot to block the audio for Battlefield. So, boots to the ground, no jetpacking. Very realistic game.
Battlefield always looks so good, but it always dies out. It loses the hype to COD. But we'll see how it goes this year.
I mean, I think based off of this video and then looking at Call of Duty, like again, like how hard is it to stick to the basics, bro? I just wanna get online with my friends, play some multiplayer, talk some nonsense, and call it a day.
Yeah, I remember those times. I was about 12 years old when the last time I had that chance. Then I grew up, unfortunately.
I also heard one that the comments for Black Ops 7 is pretty wild, so I think I've seen enough to continue on this.
The people want more.
To be honest, guys, I think if
Ah,
would I buy Battlefield 6, I'm gonna probably say no, due to the simple fact that I have played Battlefield games before and they're not my cup of tea. They are realistic, they are really good. I know the maps are big and matches last, quite some time, but not really my cup of tea. I've always been more of a Call of Duty player, even though but we can probably do a whole discussion type podcast talking about the best and worst Call of Duties ever, which again, unpopular opinion for most of you. To me, the best Call of Duty ever was Black Ops 1, maybe
yes.
followed by Black Ops 2. Some of you guys might say Modern Warfare 2, the
Or
first
two.
one.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you might even say, it was Black Ops 4, I think it was, but to me, it was always Black Ops 1 and then Black Ops 2. And then after that, I just feel like they disconnect from their community and they take away things we liked, add things we didn't want, and then it's a constant battle. The only reason I honestly might play Call of Duty, and I think Juan will agree with me here, is I have a PC, he has an Xbox, it comes out on Game Pass. We'll probably download it, give it a try, and I'm pretty sure after a week I'm just gonna be like, nah,
You don't have to show off. The people don't need to know that.
That we're gonna play Call of Duty?
No, that you have a PC and I play on an Xbox.
What's wrong with that? I used to play on an Xbox too, fool.
That brings my insecurities out. That you have a PC and
I
I.
know. Bueno, anywho, gentlemen, that's just my partake. I, hopefully Battlefield 6 does give Call of Duty a run for its money, and I hope Call of Duty does wake up and they start to do things and listen to the community and bring it back to, what it once used to be. Because quite honestly, I mean, it's a shame, but I will say this. Juan did mention something earlier that he's a story mode guy, and recently we did play Mafia Old Country. Great game. I've been trolling at work and just speaking full on Italian at times with just trolling and this freaking Juan behind me laughing when I say buongiorno to everybody in the office and stuff.
The
But
ending broke my heart. I didn't like it. I was not a fan. I was not expecting it.
yeah, dude,
I
I
wish I
mean,
was recording at that point to get my actual reaction. But maybe
eh,
one day you guys will get that.
what's the streamer that does those marathons when he plays games for the first time so people can see his reaction? Is it Kai?
Kai Cenat, yeah, I believe it's him.
Yeah, you kind of no more details. I mean, I don't know if anybody has played the game. The game really was good. It's if anyone is a fan of Mafia 3, the last one was horrendous. Old Country was really good. It brought that franchise back, but I believe that's enough today when it comes to video games, and now we're going to talk a little bit about sports. So Juan, you said you wanted to talk about an NFL player right now going through some stuff.
Well, I don't remember saying I was the one that wanted to talk about it. I think the world's talking about it. Tyreek Hill. Yes. What a mess, my dude. What a disaster. I don't know what is wrong with you, but you need to check yourself, my man. Like, if marriage ain't for you and you just want to hit one after the other, go ahead, bro. Do what you got to do. But don't ruin your life the way you just did, man. You're divorced right now. I don't even know what the number was for how much amount of money he's going to have to pay this chick, but that is outrageous. Like, if I was an athlete, that would probably make me scared to get married as if I had to pay that much amount of money if something goes wrong. The lady, I think, is even asking for health care, for her
Yes, she is.
well-being, even though they're not together anymore. I think she's also getting like a stake in some condo that he owes.
I think
They
it's his
also have a
house in
daughter.
Miami.
Beats me. Anything, a piece of mind that I have to share with you and I'm no longer with you. What's wrong? No. Bye.
For a marriage that lasted 17 months.
17 months, bro. We're playing Sims out here at this
And
point.
to go a little bit further, this dude got 7 kids, man.
Oh, that guy has a freaking flag football team already.
Like, has this guy not seen the documentary of how these dudes go broke after the pro careers are over? Like, yo, my man, what are you doing? Like,
He must not know it yet because he's clearly still able to play, but he'll realize it sooner or later. But we'll see.
bro,
Not
look,
wishing anything bad at Tyreek. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to bash the dude, but
no, I
man,
mean, I don't want to
I ain't
bash the
gonna
dude
lie. Like
too.
I'm throwing my red flag out there, and I'm challenging that play, homie.
Dog, like it's cheaper to go have a vasectomy than keep having these kids, dog. Like, what's up with you? Like, I understand that you want a big family and no criticism there, but it's like, yo, if you're gonna get married, like that's a commitment. Like, when the D word comes out, mira lo caro que le salió el tipo este. Like, this dude's
Me
losing.
tiene que controlar el tipo porque el tipo está descontrolado.
En qué
No,
anda el tipo, dog? Like, coño, like he's out here
no,
wasting his
no,
money, and
no,
then you
no,
have
no.
someone like Travis Kelce who probably secured his retirement proposing to Taylor Swift.
And Taylor Swift, yeah, but I actually heard of that before. The reason why it was taking so long for him to propose is because they were actually working out the agreement between each other as far as their assets and everything that they bring to the table. They wanted to make sure that sort of like a prenup
I
type of
know.
deal.
El tipo ahí no cogió nada, dog.
Yeah.
Maybe el tipo really is enamorado, dog, or maybe he's who knows, bro. Good luck to them. I just hope I don't gotta see Taylor Swift again in the Super Bowl, bro.
Oh, you will, and you'll also see her at every Chiefs game and every
Well, no, I,
NFL
I,
Champions
I
game.
expect every Chiefs game, but realistically, how much more playing time does Travis Kelce have? Isn't he like 35, 36?
I don't know how old is he, but for I
Let's,
know Patrick
let's check
Mahomes
chat.
and the team's sake is actually hoping that he's concentrated this season, a little bit more focused on football and not the fame and not his name getting out there.
He is
But it
35,
is what it
about to
is.
turn 36.
36. Wow. I would love
So
to be 36 and have an NFL career.
instead, it looks like you're gonna be 36 and still doing this podcast.
Well, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much at this rate, yes.
So another topic, one that we had brought up this week, is the debate LeBron versus Jordan overdone at this point? Can we all just agree that each of them were great in their own era and keep it moving, or
Well, if we're about to start talking about this, like honestly, just end the podcast. I'm about to walk off because I'm tired of talking about this. Like this is such an old topic. We need to already get over it. Respect each other's greatness. It is what it is. This guy did that. This guy did that. Okay, enough with the circle jerk, people. All right, let's talk about more of who's the future of the league. Let's talk about who could potentially be the next face of the NBA. Because till this day, we don't have that established. There's great names like Steph Curry, Luca, John Morant, but actually John Morant goes back because he decided to play around with you guys know what. I'm not gonna say it out here. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. He, who knows? The guy could potentially one day look at our podcast and he's gonna see that.
hey
Don't
man,
traumatize the guy.
look, at this point, if he sees that, I hope that he takes a laugh at it and sees how childish he was, because I do think he's a great athlete. But going back to what you said, I mean, you did mention Steph Curry, but unfortunately, I do believe that Steph Curry in his prime, that's when he was going at it with a prime LeBron James, and LeBron at the time was still pretty
LeBron
much the
has
face
ruined
of the
so many
NBA.
careers. It's not even funny.
That
It's
yeah,
not
it
even
is
funny.
true. And then at some point, people thought, Giannis was gonna be the face of the NBA after he won his championship. It kind of, it wasn't just talked about anymore. Then everyone said the Joker this, the Joker that. He
I
won
mean,
his
with
championship, and last season the Nuggets really didn't look like the Nuggets when they won.
with
Luca,
Giannis alone, you could tell he's going through it. He just slapped his teammate the other day in Greece. Like the
yeah, I
guy's
don't,
going through something. I don't know
yeah, I
what he's
don't.
going through. Giannis, I just want you to know that we're here for you. If you need to let anything out, like sometimes I get it. The fame, the NBA, the league, everything gets to you. It's all right. You're more than welcome to join our podcast any given day, and we'll have
Just
you here, man. Let it all out. It's
and
okay.
hey, bro,
It's
just the man of
okay.
trade to Miami. Dog, we love you here in Miami. Not gonna lie to you. Team you up with Bam and Tyler, but I know at
Okay,
one
that's
point
that's where I
that
gotta
was
put you
a
up
wishful
again
thinking.
because no, we're gonna talk about the Heat. No, 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 no,
Hey,
no.
look, 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 look. Again, all right, guys. If you didn't realize this by now, this dude over here, he's a Laker fan. I'm a
Yes,
Miami
sir.
Heat fan.
Loud and clear. Nice and proud. LA Nation, baby.
Nah. Anywho, yeah, dude, I'm just gonna throw it out there 'cause I did see at some point that it was a possibility. It's just the Miami Heat got nothing to trade, and the only draft picks they're getting is probably like at some point in the 30s, 2030s. So
I
it
mean,
is
the
what it
Heat
is. But
sleeping that we need to have. Is Pat Riley finally done, or is the guy gonna keep walking around like the Godfather, acting like he's actually making an impact still?
look, how about
Oh,
this?
man. Guy
And
coach for the Lakers, won a couple championships. I'm just gonna put that out there as a Lakers fan, you know.
and 2K.
Uh, no, it was not in 2K. You can Google it.
Here we go. But yeah, I mean, I think a better debate instead of talking about who was the GOAT and this and that. I mean, a better one would be who would be the next face of the NBA. Some people say Luca, some people say SGA, some even would have said Jason Tatum before he got hurt. I mean,
Tatum is an Iron
again,
Man.
being a Heat fan, I've never been a big fan of the Celtics. I do respect their players, but I don't think it would be Jason Tatum, especially when they were making a meme out of him when he was texting Kobe, before his playoff games that was like 2 years ago. But I do believe a more serious like conversation there would be SGA or Luca. I do believe they're very good players. If I had to pick one, I might get some hate for this. I think I'll pick Luca over SGA, especially that SGA has gotten a lot of heat for being one of those dudes that take like 30 free throws like James Harden throughout the games. I still respect his greatness. I do believe he's a good player, but I just like Luca more, bro. I think he got that dog in him.
Well, I mean,
And he's a Laker, so you can't
Let,
say I'm
let's
biased.
let's bring the elephant out of the room now, and let's just mention the team that Luka just happens to play for, which was the team that not too long ago we were bashing here and talking about that they only won in 2K. But yes, you're correct, guys. Luka does play for the Los Angeles Lakers. He actually just signed an extension. I could go on and on and on, but I know I don't want to bore you guys now playing. I'm gonna go on and on because come on now, Luca is in a Laker uniform, so is LeBron still, and I know at this point, everybody's asking like, when is this guy finally gonna retire? When is this guy finally gonna call it quits? But guess what? He's still there and he's still in an LA uniform, and the debate and the question is he going anywhere mid-season? And I honestly think that starts a heated debate because I honestly think LeBron does leave if mid-season the Lakers are not on their A game and are not contending for a potential high playoff run or even a championship at this point. I mean, as a Laker fan, I'm sorry to say Laker Nation, but we always want to say that we're on a championship run or a playoff run and we're always going to go on this run, but we got to be honest with ourselves eventually. Last season, we got this new head coach, JJ Redick, which I highly respect a lot. He's actually one of my favorite coaches, even though he's only had one season. Hey, and guess what? He actually started on a podcast. By the way, if any NBA teams are hiring, I just happen to know quite a bit about basketball. But anyway, if anyone is hiring out there and would like to shoot their shot at me or vice versa, we could talk. I'll let my agents know and my guys know. But anyway,
I'll be more interested in MLB, but you know.
but going back to the original question, would actually like to bring back a name that I honestly thought he had a chance, and he was actually being, promoted by actually a lot of analysts, to be honest, and it was John Morant. John Morant was the noise, was the hype of the NBA. Thankfully he
Yeah,
didn't
so
lose
was
his
Zion
deal.
Williamson.
But dude, you cannot compare John Morant to Zion Williamson. Like Zion Williamson is, I'm sorry to say Zion, but your career in the NBA has been a total bust. You've been injured nonstop, and not to mention that you almost got, some sort of porn star pregnant. I forgot her name. She'll probably come up in the comments when she
That is
sees
true.
this. But anyway, um, hey, I'm not holding anybody back from
Look,
commenting on comments.
I know you're a big John Morant guy, and I do believe he
Don't
has the
don't
skill
bring
set.
that
No,
out.
no, no,
Don't
no.
bring that out
I'm
from
gonna
me
bring
because
it
now
out.
you're
I'm gonna
gonna
bring
try
it
to make
out.
me feel
Hey,
like I'm biased.
this dude got John
Oh
Morant
man.
shirt. He got the John
I
Morant
should have brought the
shoes.
bobblehead. I should have brought the
Look at
bobblehead. I
that,
have the
and he doesn't
bobblehead.
want me to bring it
Don't
up.
worry. We'll probably make that the thumbnail of this video.
Hey, look. At the end of the day, I do believe he's a great player. He has made a lot of dumb decisions, and I do believe he's paid for it by getting suspended. And I
He
do
went through
believe that
therapy
if he
his
leaves that
second
in
time.
I believe if he does leave that behind, then he can move forward from it. And next year he just explodes onto the scene. I mean, again, he'd probably be up there in the top, but and then also he does play for a small market team. He does play for the Grizzlies. You have Luka, who's right now playing for the Lakers, and you have SGA, who, even though Oklahoma, is a small market team, people always talk about them, how they have like the next 21st round picks in the next couple of drafts. They have a really young, solid team. They just won the finals. Like they have a really, really, really bright future.
Yeah.
But again, that comes with a cost because at some point when people's contracts start expiring, are you gonna have the capital to be able to afford and keep that team together? Not to mention, if you keep drafting all those draft picks, what are you gonna do with them? Are you gonna develop them? Are you gonna keep them on the team? Are you gonna trade them for more future first round picks? Who knows? But I do know one thing: the Clippers right now must be kicking themselves in the head for trading away SGA for who was it again? Paul George?
I'm not too sure who they traded for,
Paul
but at the end
George.
of the day,
It was
if whether it was Paul George, PG-13, whatever you want to call him, playoff P, whatever the hell you want to call him at this point, um, I don't think you regret something like that. I just think it's the aftermath and it happens naturally, especially in professional sports. Sometimes you bet on a player and unfortunately just father time catches up with you and it isn't his time to shine for you and they shine elsewhere. Like Oklahoma, shout out to you. Y'all went through the grind. Y'all got rid of KD, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, which again, LeBron and the Dad Dynasty as well. Um, not allowing them to be
what
champions
about the
themselves.
dynasty that came after that? Russell, Melo, and Paul George. That got ended by Dame.
Did anybody hear the crickets? Oh, by the way, I have a pet lizard. His name is Boosie. He eats crickets. I think I just heard him after that because I don't think anybody remembers that squad.
Probably not, bro.
Okay.
I remember there was hype for them.
But Oklahoma definitely went through the trenches. I will say that. They were irrelevant
Yeah.
afterwards for like, I don't know, X amount of years. But moving past that, they invested. They got the draft picks, as you guys know, and as Julio mentioned, they got tons of draft picks for days. They have a brand new roster, fresh looking roster. They just won a championship. And fun fact, well, not such a fun fact. I mean, by the way, just download ESPN. It'll tell you that. It'll basically tell you that they just extended all their stars for 2 to 3 more years.
That's
So
true.
they're going all in, ladies and gentlemen. They're basically saying the time is now for Oklahoma, and I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they win another one. I'm not sure if they're gonna go back to back, but definitely I see another one and either the following season or the one after that,
Well,
if they're still healthy.
now you mentioned about going back to back, what teams right now are currently built that can pretty much hurt their chances, in your opinion?
Hurt their chances, hurt Oklahoma's chances. I mean, dude, I'm not gonna lie, and again, I'm gonna be honest with you guys here. I'm gonna be honest with you guys here. It's not because I'm a Lakers fan here. I know I am not gonna say it's the Lakers, but everybody likes to hype up the Clippers. The Clippers do have a nice squad. They always, more than half the time, have a nice squad, but they always come short of the glory. I don't know when the Clippers will finally be an NBA champion. Who knows if we'll come back to this and we'll have to replay this script and be like, damn, Juan, you were talking mad smack, and look at that. The Clippers went on and won this championship. But I think the Clippers could challenge them in a way. I don't think Denver is gonna be a challenge anymore. Sorry, I know they have Jokic, Jamal Murray. They traded away
So,
MPJ.
so you're
Um,
staying on the west side of things right now.
yes, I don't think anybody in the East could
Well, I mean,
match up.
in the west, I mean, you already mentioned, the Lakers, the Nuggets. How about Houston, bro? Houston got a couple.
Houston, we got a problem. And guess why we have a problem in Houston? Because Mr. Kevin Durant just arrived. Mr. Easy Money Sniper just arrived. But I do think Houston is still a young, developing team. They do have former Celtics coach over there, Udoka. But and he's been aggressive. I'm not gonna lie. I'll give him his props. He's been aggressive with the push of trying to rebuild the culture over there in Houston and making them somewhat relevant. And they did also get Fred VanVleet last season from the Raptors. And they have, I believe, one of the Thompson twins, if I'm not wrong, on their roster. So
No, they do, they do.
they have a nice little squad going on in Houston. And I'm not gonna lie, Houston's always been that team that kind of like, again, like it makes you for whatever reason get hyped about it because it's a small market and it's telling you Houston, we have a problem.
Now that you're in Houston, let's stay in the Texas area. How about
TH,
one of your favorite former Lakers, AD, going to the Mavs over there with Klay Thompson and Kyrie? How do they fare after getting all the heat for trading away Luka? You don't think they possess any threat?
first of all, AD, I'm sorry for your loss. I know what it is to get traded. Well, look at me saying I know what it is to get traded away from the Lakers. Oh my goodness, like if I actually played for the Lakers at one
God,
point.
come on,
But
bro. Get
anyway,
it together, bro.
get
Get
it
it
together,
together.
bro. But anyway, I am sorry for his loss. I know he was very, 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 very hurt by the trade. He was not a fan of it. But he did get to join some, I would say, elite company over there in Dallas. He has Kyrie, he has Klay Thompson. Jason Kidd is that coach that has rebuilt the culture there in the Mavericks for a little bit. But I the Mavericks are that team that nobody really knows how much damage they can do just because of the fact that the biggest question with the Mavericks is can they stay healthy? That is the biggest question. AD is known for his injuries.
Made out of glass.
Kyrie went down last season.
Ran out of
Klay
sage.
Thompson is on the basically, I guess, revenge tour to prove something to Golden State and say, hey, by the way, I'm here. You should have invested in me. You should have gave me the contract. But, you know, that's just the way business goes, baby. And it is what it is, man. Then Jimmy Butler decided to say, hey, Pat, if you don't give me the money, I'm going. And guess what? He went, and he's in Golden State now. He went on a nice little run there. Steph Curry went down. But the Warriors are yet another team that everybody has question marks about. Are they going to be relevant again? Is Steph Curry going to realize that eventually he has to leave the Warriors to contend for a championship? And they still have Draymond, which, again, I have different takes on Draymond. I do have different takes on Draymond, just letting everybody know. I think there's two sides of Draymond. I think Draymond,
He's a bully.
for a big reason, he was a big contributor. He was a big contributor to their championship success. Some might even say he was actually the glue to making that happen. I know everybody saw Curry and Thompson, the Splash Brothers, doing their thing from 35 feet out to 40 feet out, but again, basketball knowledge, basketball IQ kind of kicks in. Who was the guy setting those screens? Who was the guy making those guys open? Draymond played a big role in that. Now that's the positive side because then Draymond decided to, well, not decided to. He kind of always has been rebellious, but you know Draymond. If you've seen Draymond and you see his podcast, shout out to him. If he ever wants to have us, we'll be there. But and his podcast, he's very straightforward. He's a very straightforward type of guy.
He is.
And he's never hid away from voicing himself and saying like, yeah, I kicked the dude or I punched the dude. You know, we all saw the scandal that broke out between him and Jordan Poole, which he punched
KD.
the dude. So before we go into KD, he punched Jordan Poole so hard that he flew out all the way to Washington to play for the Wizards.
And he stayed
But
irrelevant from there on out.
and yeah, he actually just got traded to the New Orleans Pelicans. He's joining company over there now.
So he went to the Wizards version of the West. Cool.
And yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
pretty
much,
much.
pretty
Um,
much.
but you see, look, you forgot to mention the team, which is the Phoenix Suns. And the Phoenix Suns, man, at some point they look like a really nice team, and I think that they made a few crucial errors. Number one, you let go of your veteran presence in Chris Paul go. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of the center. I forgot the center now, the dude from the Bahamas. Forgot his name. He was a first round pick.
If you can't remember his name, he's irrelevant.
Exactly. I think he plays for Portland now. And they look like they had a nice squad, but I think once they got Bradley Beal and they consumed that contract, they're kind of stuck in a pickle now with who
Which
wants
Bradley Beal
Bradley
is good.
Beal. And at this point, you're gonna start running out of time before Devin Booker might want out of Phoenix. So my thing is, I mean, obviously, if you had to pick a favorite now to win the NBA Finals one, who would you pick? You pick Oklahoma?
Yes, I would say OKC has a very high chance of repeating.
Obviously, we're saying if everyone stays healthy and everything goes as planned. However, what about when some of these trades start to happen and some of these teams start getting strong? Because again, we don't know how much longer, guys like Bradley Beal is gonna stay in Phoenix. Not that I don't think he'll make a difference at any team, but he still is a scorer, and I just think that he doesn't fit well with that team. But what if the Suns decide to trade someone away like a Devin Booker? Or what if Giannis finally does leave Milwaukee and ends up on a team like I know I said the Heat earlier, but I know that's unrealistic. What if Giannis ends up on a team like the Spurs and he teams up with Wemby? That's a scary matchup, dude.
Well, all right, so there's a lot to unpack here from what you just said. I'm going back to the Suns, and first of all, before we begin talking basketball business here, I would like to personally reach out to James Jones one day if I can, and actually
James
ask him to
Jones.
connect with me on LinkedIn because the guy just is a wizard when it comes to scoring high rolls in the industry. The guy,
Very true.
I don't know what he's doing now. I forgot the exact title that he
Former
just
Heat player,
got.
by the way, and Heat champion. Just want to throw it out there.
Yes, 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 yes. We're gonna talk about what's relevant here, and again.
Here we go.
But
Here we go.
anyway, and actually, there's more to unpack there because you mentioned CP3, and boy, oh boy, I have different takes on CP3 once again. Because again, as a Lakers fan, at one point, as we all know, the infamous deal that never happened, Chris Paul to the Lakers, it
Chris
was
Paul to
stopped
the Lakers.
immediately. It wasn't allowed. They just
Yo, we're
couldn't.
gonna we're gonna lose followers. We keep talking about the Lakers.
Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted here, I'll continue with what I was heading to with this. Um, if that would have happened, great, hoorah! But Chris Paul acted not. It doesn't have to do with the trade or him going to the Lakers, but just I guess the way he developed the rest of his career when he went to Houston, the Clippers, vice versa. I'm gonna tell you right now, when Rondo smacked that boy in the jaw, I was the happiest guy in the world. That was one of my favorite days watching an NBA game. That was a highlight right there. So thank you, Rajon Rondo, by the way. Also, thank you for the championship in 2020, which, by the way, was against the Heat. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that because I don't want to
But
bring any trauma out. I don't want to bring any trauma out.
why are you feeling that towards the man, dog? What he do to you?
I just don't know. El tipo me cae mal. Me saca la sangre. No sé lo que me hace el tipo.
El tipo te
Coño,
pone mal.
me pone la piel de gallina.
Here we go.
But
My goodness.
man, I don't know. I just know when Rondo smacked that guy because he was very disrespectful when he did that. Actually, he spit at one of the guys from the Lakers. I'm not sure. I don't remember specifically who it was that he spit at, but I remember Rondo saying, "You don't spit at someone. That is one of the most disrespectful things in the world that you can do." And he rightfully so went to defend his teammate. He smacked him across the jaw. Man, that was good. But
So my apologies for interrupting you because obviously I this Laker talk you on right now. I also forgot about a team one that I want to bring up, the Knicks. So what
I
if like
know the screen didn't get frozen, by the way, guys. I was
so
waiting to
so
get my
so
turn
so
in.
so what if someone like a Giannis goes to the Knicks?
I could actually see that happening. I could actually see it happening. I think New York is definitely in the market to play with their cards and be able to pull off a trade to get Giannis. I do think though that scenario um involves getting rid of Carl Anthony Towns.
No, the
Um
house at that point.
and then Giannis, Jalen Brunson, Michael Bridges, and the band that's over there. I think they would actually do some damage. I actually do think that's a good take. I think Giannis could go to the Knicks. I don't see him going to the Spurs, as you mentioned. I just don't think he's a fit there. And I honestly think if he goes to the Spurs, it's because the Spurs offer him, I don't know, some sort of lucrative deal where I guess they offer him a bag over a championship promise type of deal. But I don't see him going to San Antonio. But the Knicks could be potentially
So let's say
contenders.
you have OKC on the favorites on the West. But then they say someone like a Giannis goes to the Knicks, and now the Knicks play against the finals with OKC. Who do you pick there in a Game 7 series
If OKC were to go against the Knicks
and have
in a
Giannis?
championship and in a series of seven and have Giannis, I still first of all, I don't see that happening just because of what happened with the Knicks this previous season
True.
when they did pull off the trade that they got Towns and they got all these guys to join the band and it looked like they were gonna go sunshines and rainbows type like the freaking leprechaun at the end of the rainbow type of deal. But obviously, again, let's not forget here, folks, that chemistry takes time. You have to develop chemistry in order to be successful in anything. But they just didn't have the chemistry, and you saw it, it bit them, and they're behind in the playoffs. They lost to the Pacers, which was a team that caught fire. Which I now that we're on the Pacers, I don't think they
No,
go on
that's
a
it. They're
long
done.
run like that again. I
They got
just think
lucky.
it's one of those things that just happened to be. They became the Cinderella story at the end of the day, and then Oklahoma came and reintroduced themselves and said, "This is why we're the number one seed." But anyway, um,
What?
I just don't see it happening. If it was to be OKC versus the Knicks, I still think the Oklahoma wins, just because those guys gel well together. They brought in key ingredients like Alex Caruso, which to this day, as a Laker fan, I miss him. I don't think we should have gotten rid of him. I think we could have worked something out to keep him because
He
he's
was
a
a
key
dog.
defensive asset. But the Caruso, shout out to him, man. He's also a Manchester City fan.
He took the Carew
Support
show to
the
OKC.
Caruso. Yeah, he did. He did. Well, he took it to Chicago first, and it didn't work out, and then he went to Oklahoma.
Which now you mentioned Chicago, man. It sucks because at one point they did look like have a nice squad when had DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, but them dudes just never figured it out. Which leads me now to another team that are big pretenders in the Cavaliers. They looked amazing the entire season, and when playoffs came, it's like they just went, they just turned it
Well,
off.
again, the when you get to the playoffs, it's a complete new season in any sport. It doesn't matter what your record is. It doesn't matter what your seed is. It doesn't matter how much momentum you had going into it. It's just is a new season. Whatever team gets in the NBA, it's about 16 games. if you become the team that could pull it through for 16 games, you end up coming out at the end with the glory. You you rise that trophy up, and you get it going. It's just about momentum at that point. Um, but the playoffs is a different animal. It brings a different side out of you, and it challenges you in different ways. And in the NBA, at the end of the day, if you catch fire, you catch fire. And clearly, the Cavs didn't catch fire, and they went out in the first round.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I know, NBA starts, if I'm not mistaken, in October, late September. So from here to then, we might see some moves happen. I know it's still kind of early, but we're just kind of getting ready, and I do hope the NBA does kind of figure something out. I know me and you have talked in the past how the All-Star game, you know, ain't it. I think I went over to someone's house to watch the All-Star game, and it was like 3.5 hours long, but only 40 of that, or like 40 minutes of it was done, like the actual game itself. But I feel like that's a topic for another day. I think we could talk about that for like another 20 minutes, just the All-Star weekend in general. Just currently how the NBA is portraying itself. I don't think there is a problem there. It needs to get fixed. I myself don't know what it really is. I do like the NBA. I do feel like it's one of the more better sports, that we currently have. It's a lot of our youth, likes it. Everybody wants to be certain players. People be spending money left and right playing 2K, and I just I don't even know what to say
Can't
at this
stand
point.
2K. I don't know why people keep wasting their money on 2K. It's just a
It's a
scam.
it's a money grab.
It's a money grabber. You buy VC and you automatically get upgraded. Nowadays, there's no more grind. I think the last time there was any sort of grind in that game was 2K17. Even throw
Which
it back to 2K13.
Which if we talk about sports video games in general, I do believe MLB The Show is probably the best one, even though I've opened like 1,000 packs this year and I haven't gotten any good players. NHL is a pretty fun game, kind of tricky to play. I'm not gonna lie to you. Madden in college football ain't for me, and from what I've heard from people, it's just not a good game overall. 2K, at least it's still fun when you're playing, with teams and you create your own player. The issue becomes when you go online and, dude, it's either spend, half of your life trying to get to an 80 overall, or give them an additional $40 and you're gonna become an 85 off rip. I mean, I just feel like it's ridiculous. Um, but the NBA does have a couple things they gotta fix, which, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I mean, like I said before, we'll get to that road once the season, slowly starts to approach. We start seeing how teams are looking like. I know, Celtics are looking rough. We got with some injuries. You got the Heat who are just looking rough overall. Everybody keeps criticizing Pat Riley for not making any moves. Everyone keeps saying he had a chance at getting KD. He didn't pull the trigger. But to be honest, do you really want a KD in Miami? Like, come on, man. How long are these cats are gonna stay relevant? They're already getting old, past their prime, and we kind of spoke about it today. How the newer faces are coming into the league, and I'm more interested to see, someone like Luka, who I never expected to get traded to the Lakers, got traded. So what other big names out there, might actually get traded to another team? That's the thing I'm kind of looking forward to the most. I know there's some disgruntled superstars out there that might look for a fresh start, and it's gonna be fun. And then for everyone's sake, I hope no one else goes to the Lakers. But I know once
Why
LeBron
not?
James,
Why
huh?
not? Why not?
Come on,
Why
dog.
can't more people come to
Come
Lakers?
on. They already got Luca, bro. Who else do you want?
Hey, listen, we all
You
know
want
LeBron.
you want Giannis too in the Lakers?
I mean, if he's willing to come, the
That
door's
that that'd
open.
be ridiculous, bro. Come on,
If
dog.
he's
Come
willing
on,
to come, I'm
dog.
not holding anybody hostage, and I'm
Come
definitely
on,
not
dog.
holding
Get
Giannis
real,
hostage.
bro.
Giannis, our arms are open, baby.
Look at our arms. Like, if it's your team, guy, you root
Hey,
for the
hey,
team.
hey. Who
Look,
knows?
hey,
Maybe
look,
one
at the
day.
end of the day, it's gonna be interesting. I do hope, like I told you before, they figure out some of those things like the All-Star weekend, the load management, which is another topic we can easily discuss about.
Load
It's
management. That is an interesting topic.
when I think of load management, I think of one person, Joel Embiid. My dog
Yeah,
got paid to sit on the bench all year.
him, Kawhi Leonard is another
Kawhi the
one,
Claw.
and the Clippers, and the Clippers.
I'm
But load, I mean, I don't load management. My viewpoint on load management is pretty simple, and this is going straight to the players. So
it,
catch me. as I catch your attention,
It's
because I'm
crap.
speaking to you guys, the players, right now. What do you need load management for when you get paid millions of dollars, have the best trainers in the world, have access to the best doctors in the world, and at any point you have access to pretty much any facility to keep yourself in top shape and at your in game at all point? You have people like Julio and myself that are sitting in front of a screen right here, saving our hard-earned dollars to try to go watch a game, and you have the audacity to take the chance that you're not gonna
To
play?
sit on the bench eating nachos and waving to the crowd. I didn't pay money to go to wave at you with your cheesy fingers to the crowd. I want to see you play. But
No, it's at this point you gotta make them feel bad. Like, don't I know
no,
everyone in
yeah, I
here
mean
at
it's
some
true.
point
Which again,
has seen the fan with a random sign saying, "I came all the way from Alaska to watch X
so and
amount of
so
cricket,
play.
so and so play," and then guess what? The player didn't play, but due to the fact that they caught it on the media, which is the power of the media, the player ends up sending tickets out. They end up welcoming to a private tour, maybe around the arena. Man, maybe I'm gonna try that one day in an arena. Maybe I'll get free tickets
Come on,
and
dog. But
go
you see,
side.
you already mentioned the podcast. So they're gonna call you on your BS when you show up. Be like, come on, Juan. You knew this man wasn't playing today.
I I didn't know it was such a crime to have a dream one day, but okay, we'll continue here.
Hey, look, man, I ain't here to crush your dreams. All I'm saying is like stuff like that does hurt the NBA, and I know some of the players do mention how sometimes the schedules are crazy, and maybe that's something the NBA should look at. Maybe the NBA should look at not having so many NBA games all in one day, like spread it out evenly, create days where maybe players are getting more than just one day's rest, like. Chances are, guys, if you're a fan of a team and if they play on a Monday and the next game's on a Thursday, it's not gonna bug you if the next day you have a team that maybe you don't have a chance to look at because while you're following your team, there's another 6, 8 teams playing at that same time. So if you're a fan of the sport, like I'm a fan of of the sport, I'm not just gonna go and watch the Heat. Now if I have a chance to maybe oh man today Lakers play the Mavs, Luka's going back to Dallas. I want to watch that game, but I look, oh well the Heat game's in the third quarter, that game's starting, and then I'm catching the end of it.
Funny enough, and this is actually a true story. This is
Here,
actually a
here,
true
here we
story.
go. True story time.
And my wife could attest to this because I took her to the game. So this is a true story. I'm not making this up. At one point, at one point last season, I went to watch a Heat game. And again, I'm not a Heat fan, but
I think I remember the story.
the reason why I went was because I wanted to watch the Mavericks play, because I wanted to watch Luka play.
I think I
And
remember
guess
this.
what? When I get there, Luka wasn't playing. Kyrie was, and so was Klay Thompson, so that was entertaining to a certain aspect. But
But you didn't see the guy of the team.
I didn't see the guy. But guess what? I guess he kind of, communicated to me mentally, and that happens at times. It's okay. I won't hold anything against Luka because now we go to find out. Luka's a Laker.
Here we go.
Luka's a Laker. And the one game that I go to every season here when the Heat play is against the Lakers, which it hasn't
Shocker.
gone so well. It hasn't gone
Shocker.
so well for me in the past few seasons. They got in their ass whooped a couple times by the Heat. I won't lie.
Hey, look, all I know is that the NBA got some issues that they need to fix, and I do believe that that's one of them. You do a schedule where you give teams more rest and you give that prime time showing to my host just left for a second. God knows where he went. But I do believe if you do make these schedules a bit more stretched out. Maybe today I watch, Heat versus Bucks. Then the next day I see Lakers versus
Gotta go
Mavericks.
again.
Wednesday I go see OKC versus Houston, and come back Thursday I'm watching the Heat again. Maybe you can find that. I mean, it might stretch out the season a
I
little
have.
bit more, but at this point, like, who cares? Like, huh? What you
Oh
say?
no, nothing. I was just announcing my arrival. I
Oh,
thought they,
here we go. All I know is that I know it might stretch out the season a bit more, but like who cares? Like you have baseball that starts in March and ends in October. Like, come on, dog. Like maybe NBA can start maybe like sometime mid-September and then lead up all the way to maybe late April, even early May. Like if you're not an outdoor sport, you're an indoor sport. Extend the season a little bit. Figure something out. But regardless, I'm gonna maybe lead into the last topic before we do one of these famous drafts that we mentioned in the first episode to give the viewers and the listeners out there a little bit of what we do when we had nothing else better
I'm
to
ready.
do
I'm ready. I put my food on. I'm
in our
ready.
free time. But the last one isn't NBA related. It is WNBA related. And me, I know Juan, me and you briefly spoke about this, and me and you really didn't see eye to eye. So now the good thing we have a podcast. We get listeners that give us their take on it. And unless you live under a rock, as of recently in the WNBA All-Star game, the women, the players, decided to wear a shirt saying that they deserve to get paid what they are owed, and they're trying to make a statement that they should get paid more money in the WNBA. For those of you who are not aware, I think the average WNBA player makes like 250K a year, something like that, and they have to play overseas to make more money,
Change their
and
lifestyle.
yeah, they mind you, where's their load management, right? They're playing all year long to get that money, but but at the end of the day, I'm a numbers guy. And you know this one. I'm a numbers guy. And I looked at the numbers, and the WNBA just doesn't produce money, man. The only person that's producing any money, you know damn well who it is. And shout out to the go right now of WNBA, which is Caitlin Clark, not Angel Reese. Not me rebounds. No, it's Caitlin Clark. She sells out, the crowd. She is a baller. But come on, look. I even saw the other day on TV one of a former WNBA player, Candace Parker, I believe it was. She even mentioned like you can't wear those shirts and then play the way you did in the All Star game. Like if you see clips of the WNBA All Star game, bro, it looks more like a comedy. It looks like a middle school game. No disrespect to none of the women. Y'all pro players. Y'all can play. But unfortunately, you're not as exciting as watching the guys dunk and get the steals and the high electric plays. It's just not there. So how and then on top of the fact that NBA loses roughly about $20 million a year just to keep your league afloat. Granted, people out there say that's the NBA's tax write off, but at the end of the day, numbers don't lie,
We don't
dude.
have
Like,
to do them like that. We don't
huh?
have to get to that point. We don't have to get to that point where we write them off as a tax write-off.
Hey, look, I'm just saying if a league is losing $20 million and the NBA has kept it this long, I'm
They need
sorry,
to
dog.
hire Julito to go do
That's
their
a
numbers.
that's a tax write-off, dog. The off rip, and at that point, they're just being nice by keeping the league around. Because if the NBA really wanted to save some money, which is probably more than 20 million, they could just tell the WNBA, "Hey, yo, go play in Europe. We're not, in Europe. We don't need you over here." But I know you had some indifference when I mentioned that topic, so I'll let you speak now. But I will say this: number one, when Caitlin Clark came into the league, you had a perfect opportunity by capitalizing on this. And what did the women do? They kept her off the USA team, which me and you spoke about a while ago, which at this point is irrelevant. But you kept her off the USA team. Then we saw how last year everybody thought that they were brave by bullying who was going to be the next face of the WNBA. Then you have Angel Reese claiming she's better than her, and she's the next face of the WNBA. So it kind of hurts your image when you're not being accepted by your peers. It's not like when LeBron came into the league. At first they were skeptical, but then they're like, no, this dude can play. And, they made him the face of the league. This chick, ever since she came, everyone on the outside respects her, but in the inside, it's kind of like an envy almost. So it kind of hurts your product when you yourself aren't helping it in a sense. But look, I think I said my part, dude. I'll let you say yours because when you told me you felt indifferent about it, I was like, what? All right. Now I want to hear your side of it.
So this is actually a really big topic. There again, I think there's a lot to unpack here. I think there's different perspectives from different eras to discuss here. There's an old school era and there's a new school era. The new school era obviously is the Caitlin Clark era, the era where the WNBA is feeling somewhat relevant, as far as population, viewership, and all that good stuff. Things that are ultimately gonna, uplift the league. I mean, as a matter of fact, the WNBA is expanding. They're expanding to a team in Portland, a team in Seattle.
More
Um,
losses.
what?
More losses.
No, man. See, don't be a hater. Don't be a hater. These, I, I honestly think that we're in a good time for the WNBA to grow. I think we're in a very supportive community for the WNBA to be able to get to the point where they could, finally get their flowers and shine. I personally have met WNBA players before. Shout out to Erica Wheeler. I did get the chance to work with her. Um, and it was a cool experience, really cool person, real genuine person. And she actually plays overseas in Turkey when the WNBA season is done. But moving past that, I'm gonna go into a different viewpoint and into this conversation that it's just, and I'm sorry to say it, but shout out to all the females out there. I have nothing against you guys, but it just seems to be that a female's biggest enemy is always a female. I don't understand
Ain't no lie
why.
there.
I don't understand what the situation is there. Like, if you guys got something to figure it out on the side, but not in something that's gonna profit you or progress the product that you want to be a part of. I think that ties into what happened with the Olympics. I think the side of business got viewed by one side, and the side of jealousy and envy got viewed by a lot of the players that ended up being on that roster. And I understand. I understand where a lot of the players were coming. They wanted Caitlyn to earn her spot. They wanted her to grind it out, just like how they did. But you got to think about it from a business perspective, and not to say that Caitlyn would have not grinded out her time and her shot to try to be on that team. Because if you've seen anything about Caitlyn Clark, that's all she is. She is about the grind. She lives in the gym.
She's a
That's all she
baller.
does.
She's a baller.
Um, but again, the business side clearly got put to the side. I think if you still would have put Kaylin Clark on the roster, you would have sold endless amount of jerseys. She didn't have to be a starter. She could have came off the bench. She could have not played. I mean,
Yeah,
look
so
look
instead
at
of
what
losing
happened.
20 million, you would have probably lost 16 million.
Look at what happened with the men's team. They played throughout the Olympics, and in the final game, Jason Tatum didn't play. One of the biggest names in the NBA, just recent NBA champion with the Boston Celtics. He didn't play. It was one of the biggest topics of question marks as to why Steve Kerr didn't play him. And Jason Tatum ultimately spoke on it, and he said, "Hey, you know what? I gotta take it up the chin. It's one of those things that motivates me to come back, and
Hmm.
I just gotta do it."
Oh yeah,
I honestly wish the WNBA players would have a little bit of that perspective, because at the end of the day, it's only gonna harm their product if they keep working against each other. The whole,
I agree.
media beef that would go between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, irrelevant, because at the end of the day, Angel Reese, I'm sorry to tell you, you have to realize, like, you're not at Caitlin Clark's level. Like, ain't
At least
nobody
not yet.
not yet. You're a different player. You play a different position. Yes, you're somewhat relevant. Yes, you have your sponsors. Yes, nobody's taking that from you. But at the end of the day, when you look at Caitlin Clark, she's just it. She's the magnet that catches the eye, the one that makes you want to watch the any sort of WNBA action. And I'm gonna go even a little bit deeper. The WNBA has gotten better. They have Paige Bookers that just entered the league, playing for the Dallas Mystics, and there's a lot of talent in the WNBA, believe it or not. Sorry, I'm a fan in general, not of the WNBA, but just of sports. So just going into those topics, there's a lot of players that have earned their spot in the league and are doing productive things for the league. I mean, Caitlin Clark obviously is the highlight. She got the hype coming out of Iowa. Um, and she just got her final shoe deal logo with Nike, which again, and one thing admirable about Caitlin Clark that I really gotta say is that aside from all this adversity and aside from all this trash talk and aside from everybody literally wanting to step all over this lady, every single interview that she gets is always positive. She's always saying
Hmm.
how she,
She says the right things.
she says the right things, she promotes the league, and she continues to move forward and improve her game. And guess what? Those are the best type of athletes. The ones that will take that to their face, and then when they see you on the court, you say, you know what? Not even without a word, just by looking at you, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Hey, look, man. I just want to say because before we finish this topic, because you're trying to make me look like the bad guy here. All I'm
That's
saying
you are.
is,
You're all the bad guy here. Like, there's
look,
no way of
look.
taking that back.
They had a chance to capitalize with her coming into the league, and I think that they handled it poorly. And I think you said it best. Sometimes women's biggest enemy are themselves. because they would not have done that in the NBA. Everybody always embraces the next superstar because they know that it just makes the league value go up, and it just helps everyone. But when it was her time to come up, look how she got treated in the beginning, and like you said earlier, she also took it in the chin too when she's still a baller and she's doing her thing. So at the end of the day, I do hope that at some point that league does become more affordable, but they gotta start embracing their new next phase of the WNBA, and they gotta capitalize sooner rather than later.
Might be premature, but I'm gonna put it on record at the moment
Here we go.
and as of right now.
Here we go.
I say Caitlin Clark has the female professional basketball player trajectory that LeBron had throughout his career.
Okay, that's interesting.
Becoming the face of the league so young, so quick, but progressing to be a great example to follow.
Okay, okay, that's very interesting. Well, I mean, we've been chit-chatting here for a while, Juan, and one of the things we did promise everyone in the first episode was that we're gonna give them a little look into how these little drafts that we do plan on at the end of doing at the end of the podcast is gonna go. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, and again, it's just me and Juan now. In the future, we do have a couple buddies of ours that listen to the first episode that do wanna be, in the podcast as well, and it'll make things a little bit difficult. But we are gonna do little drafts. It's not today. We're gonna stick to NBA, so we spoke a lot about it. At some point, we might throw video games in there. We might throw MLB, NFL. Again, I have mentioned before, I'm a big baseball dude and basketball dude, not so much football. Slowly and surely getting a love and hate relationship with soccer because of FIFA, FC 25. But I'm not gonna go into that again. But when we do go into other topics or even the same topic, we're always gonna come up with a set of rules, and we're also gonna bring in people who may know about the sport a little bit more. So today's draft is who can draft a better NBA team, me or Juan. In this case, Juan's going to be going first. I'm going to be spinning a wheel, which I will now be showing up on the screen so that no one's cheating here. Uh,
Come on, baby. Give me a good
right
team.
here,
Here we
here's the
go.
wheel. So once I spin the wheel, whoever is pick, whoever's turn it is, they got 30 seconds to do a pick. Now, chat. This specific rule here I put because of Juan, because Juan is very infamously known for doing this. No Google. So if you get a team, Juan, and you don't know many players from that team, Juan, guess what? You are stuck like Chuck. You gotta say the first thing that pops in your head because you got 30 seconds. All right?
Anybody else being attacked in here?
And if within 30 seconds you don't pick a player, guess what I get to do, Juan? I get to pick a player for you, and vice versa.
All right, I like that. Let's do it.
So for this particular draft, another thing we will be doing is there's no order. So if Juan gets the Washington Wizards, which is showing up right here right now, it's not his pick. Pretty much Juan he can pick whichever Wizard. Doesn't have to go in order by point guard, shooting guard. He can pick whichever. However, one thing he does have to do is he needs to pick a player that in their prime was with that team. So he can't get the Wizards and be like, oh, I want Michael Jordan. No, because you will get Michael Jordan as a Wizard. Just how if I don't know if you get the Bulls and you say, oh, I want D Wade, you're gonna get D Wade as a Bull, not as a Miami Heat. All right. Just want to make that clear because that's a little cheat code. And then for the six man, you get to pick whomever, even if they were a six man or not. In this case, they're gonna be your
Spin
six man.
the wheel. Spin the
All right.
wheel.
So
Spin the
with that
wheel.
being said, guys, we're gonna do a draft. We're gonna discuss the players. We're gonna say the team at the end, but you guys will pick the winners because obviously I'm always gonna say my team looks better. One's always gonna say his team looks better. Believe it or not, the last draft we did at at a location, you know, even when we brought in people to vote on who had the best team, it was still a split decision. So we're gonna leave
No,
it
it
in your
wasn't.
hands.
Tell them the truth. Tell them the truth. I had
Okay, I'm
one.
gonna say the truth. Juan even searched my team on AI, and AI said, "You know what? Julio has
Yeah,
a
that
better
was
team."
afterwards, after all the
Oh,
manipulations, all the rule changes, X and Y, and
get out of
biases
here,
getting
dog.
put in people's heads.
All
I
right.
was
Anywho, let's get this show on the road. Juan, you got the first pick, dog. So let's see what team you got, bro. All right.
Come on, come on, come on. What?
Yo, I swear to God, dog.
Oh, and I
This is a
promise you guys,
nightmare, bro.
promise you guys, this was not scripted. This was not
This is
scripted.
no, you know what this is?
My
This is
hands are up
bullshit.
here.
That's what this is.
This was not
Do I even bother
predicted.
asking you, bro? I'm not even gonna bother asking you. Like,
No, but this is hard. This is hard. This is hard. There's a lot of greats here. There's a lot of greats.
I already wrote I already wrote his team down. I
Ah,
already know who he's
my
picking, bro.
God, but I'm gonna have to go with my all-time favorite player, Mr. Kobe Bean Bryant.
Now, this is the bullshit I'm talking about. Now, I'm gonna get like some whack team.
Yeah,
Watch.
yeah, yeah.
See what I mean?
Ooh. Oh, the Suns. You know who to pick, bro. You know who to pick. They just extended him. You know who to pick.
I don't have to
Don't
pick
make,
him. Why do I have to pick
don't make
him?
this harder for yourself. Do not pick the guy with 0 rings. Do not do this to yourself.
The guy you talking about got 0 rings too.
Yes, but
So
we're past.
what? And get down, dog.
We're in
What
a
are we
new
discussing
generation.
here?
We're in a new
You know
generation. We
what?
gotta
I'm
feel a
gonna go.
little bit younger about ourselves here.
You see, you just brought up something that might end up making me lose due to the fact that you brought up the younger generation. I feel the younger generation might hit me hard for if I pick Charles Barkley. So, but at the end of the day, bro, Charles Barkley was a dog though too, man.
All right, so we're going with Charles
I'm
Barkley.
gonna go
Got it.
Charles Barkley. I feel like you know something I learned the last time. There's a lot of great shooting guards, but when it comes to power forwards like Barkley, you know, I might not get so lucky. I might bite myself in the foot. I might get the Spurs, and then I can't pick Timmy. So it is what it is. But
Before you
for the sake
spin,
of this, I am gonna pick Charles Barkley. It is what it
before you
is,
spin,
bro.
I'm gonna type for it to spin the Lakers again.
Bro, I hope you get a whack team. I like the.
It is a Juan day, ladies and gentlemen, for what we can see here.
this is ridiculous. This is
You
what I get.
know who?
This is
Bro,
what I get
that's
for talking shit about the WNBA, dog. That's
Yup,
what it is.
yup. Karma is biting you in the ass right now, my
Do
friend.
I write it
Yes,
down
it
for you
is.
already, bro?
Yes, you can. LeBron James.
As a Heat.
That's fine. He won every chip in the Heat. Well, besides the one he got with the Cavs and the Lakers. So yeah, I'll still take the Heat though. Version
Oh
of
my God,
LeBron.
this guy got Kobe and LeBron on one
Wow,
team.
Kobe and LeBron are ready to start off.
I
All right, boys,
am doomed.
we're on
I
fire.
am doomed. My goodness, what a rough start. Or, hear me out.
Oh,
Hear me
oh.
out.
So you
And
got
guess what would have happened if I'd have picked Devin Booker, fool? Ha!
you could get Jordan. Yes.
Let me get the GOAT. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting the GOAT.
All
Michael
right.
Jordan.
So far, we have a pretty
Man,
good.
there's still some hope for me, dog. There's still some hope for me, baby. Woo! Okay, now I'm excited. I was already feeling down. All right,
Who is it?
you got a couple picks here.
The Knicks.
You got the Knicks.
Um.
Not too bad.
Alright,
Remember,
so
you need
how
a
we
point
should-
guard, a power forward, a center, and the six man.
I don't want to pick the
I'm losing you there, Juan.
Oh,
Oh no, chat. This is what happens when we test our
Hello?
luck with the internet. I think I temporarily may have lost Juan. Juan, did I lose you? Who the? Oh no.
hello. What happened? Hello. Julio, is anybody alive in there?
Alright, guys. I guess Juan figured out a way to cheat this system because he had some moment, he temporarily lost, internet connection and he came back now. So he had way more than 30 seconds to figure out who he wants to pick. So,
Hey, according to you and the rules, there is no rule that said if an internet connection mishap happens, somehow, some way. I don't know.
something
There
tells
is
me you
no
still have
rule.
no idea who you're picking.
I don't actually. I don't. I really don't. My head is spinning right now.
Alright,
But
so
I am gonna draft a center. I am gonna go with Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing.
So
All
Kobe,
right.
LeBron, Patrick Ewing. All right, here we go. I have hope that you're gonna land on a trash team.
They. Wow, bro. Thanks. All right. May the God of the wheel blesseth me.
The Wheel of Doom.
Wait. I do have some options here.
Yeah, you do, but at the same time,
So now my thing is, do I want a young Shaquille O'Neal? Do I want a prime Dwight Howard, who in his prime was a menace in
yeah,
Orlando?
that he wanted to be a teddy bear in the Lakers. But anyway,
Well, I don't know, bro. I mean, it is what it is. But I think due to popularity purposes, I will go with Shaq as a
okay.
Magic.
You got Baby Shaq from the Magic. Okay.
I will, and I'm writing that down as baby Shaq, right here. At the end of the day, he
Make sure
still
you get the
was a
Baby
menace.
Shaq.
So, all right, let's see who you got. I mean, look, you got your wish, bro. I got a tough one there because the Magic, dog, really?
Oh no!
There
Wow!
we go.
Wow!
Sacramento, kid.
Oh my God! And I'm missing a power forward and a
A
point
point
guard.
guard and a six man. Eat it, nerd.
Ah, my God.
30 seconds.
Bro, honestly,
Bro.
just because he could play the four as well, I'm gonna have to go with bro, who played for the damn Kings?
Come on,
I'm going
dog,
with
really?
Sabonis.
So you know what's the bonus?
Yeah, I mean I need a four, and I'd rather risk my
You,
four
you you might get some heat for that, bro.
than my point guard. I
You know,
mean,
you could have gone Chris
Sabonis
Webber.
is a really cool individual. I saw the documentary that they released on Netflix. The guy
You
seems
could
like
have
a
gone
great
white
family guy.
chocolate. All right, now let's go. Let's see who I get, bro. Maybe I celebrated too early. You're getting a garbage team.
The Pistons. Come on now.
What? I'm missing a small forward and a point guard.
Yup. So choose your poison, Baba.
IT. I'm gonna go Isaiah Thomas.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
All right,
Isaiah
so I
Thomas.
need a point guard. Here we go. Come on, Lakers.
You
Come
need a
on.
point. You need a point guard and a six. I need a small forward and a six.
The Dallas Mavericks.
Remember what I told you. You have to pick someone by their position. Don't do that cheat shit and try to get Luca as your point guard. You can't do
Of
that.
course I'm gonna get Luca. He played for the
Luca
Mavericks.
is a shooting guard.
No, he can play the point. He's a point guard for the Lakers right now. What are we talking about here? This is clearly a debate for another day, but I am going for Luca. Luca
They have
is
him
going at
as
the one.
a shooting guard.
Oh my God, Luca is at the one. So why is Klay Thompson playing the shooting guard?
I don't know, bro. You asked JJ Redick, though. You were giving that man hype. I don't know.
Oh my Lord. I know the chat will agree with me that I could pick Luca at the one.
Put it this way: Luca is put here as a guard slash forward. So he's
Exactly.
literally a shooting guard or a
Guard,
small
a
forward.
guard, as in point guard, shooting guard. The guy's so
Yo,
versatile.
you gotta
Bro.
pick someone
The
who is
guy's so
only a
versatile.
point
Why
guard.
are you hating against my decision here?
Because so far we have followed the rules. We've picked people by their
Fine,
positions.
give
Come
me
on.
Kyrie.
And that's still not a bad pick.
It's the Mavericks version of Kyrie. He's all right there.
Dude, come on, dog.
So my
Kyrie's.
team is complete. What is it that
You're
you're
just
missing?
missing a six man, and I'm missing a small forward.
Oh, you're missing a small forward. All right, come on. Where are the Bucks? Oh, but I already took that one. So, all right, go ahead. Who are you gonna get? James
Yeah.
Jones? We were just talking about him.
Really, dog? You're gonna tell me to get James Jones?
Yeah,
Come
who else are you gonna
on,
get?
bro.
Mike Miller, shooting guard slash SF. I don't know.
Mike Miller wasn't no. Damn, dog.
Come
Why?
on now. 20.
Dude, and I mean,
15.
there's currently someone on there right now who I can go with.
10.
Yo, why are you cheesing me, dog? I haven't done that shit to you
There's a
at all, fool.
You're the one that said there is a countdown. I'm just following the rules as the director here for the draft. 5.
I'm gonna go Wiggins. I'm gonna have to go
Okay.
Wiggins.
Go ahead and take
I
your
have
other
no
one.
other choice. Or wait,
Who?
time out. Hear me out.
You can't take back the pick. You said Wiggins.
No.
The
I
15,
didn't.
the 30 seconds are done.
No, Bubble, you had a half an hour for the
No,
Knicks. You be
no.
quiet.
No. Mike,
I'm gonna go D Wade as my six man.
you're trying to bamboozle this and skip the guy to not have to for. No, you can't do that.
I'm gonna go D Wade.
So number one, you don't follow your rule about the time clock, and now
All
you
right,
want to skip
bro.
a slate.
Andrew Wiggins,
There
Andrew
we go.
Wiggins, Andrew
Stick to the
Wiggins. I
playbook.
gave you
Stick to
hell
the
about
playbook.
Luca. I'll give you this one, dog. Yeah,
There
yeah,
we go.
yeah,
There we go.
yeah, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
that's a
Vale,
six man.
vale. There you go, dog.
Vale.
Look. Let's see where you're getting your six man from.
Ooh.
There's some bullshit. Bullshit.
I see you whispering, bro. I see
You
you
can't
with.
get you can't get MJ at least. So
Um,
I'm gonna type it because if you pick anybody else, you're an idiot.
I mean, I'm kind of wondering here and I might get chewed up for this. My knowledge here definitely goes out a little bit on a limb here. Um, was was Dennis Rodman ever a six man on the Bulls?
Nah, he was
No.
more like their center. I mean, well, power forward slash center. I mean, I thought you were gonna go Scotty,
Scottie Pippen is also an option.
or
So
you can go with the man who's getting his roses.
no, D Rose, no, but that was his prime time with that team, so he wasn't really a six man. Oh, because we could pick anybody?
You can pick anybody. I said it. You can pick anybody as a six man.
Oh, all
It
right,
could
give
be
me
someone
Scotty.
in their prime, and you're gonna have him as your six man. At this point, you got Scotty who's a point forward. Like I
I-
don't.
I'm going Scottie Pippen.
All right.
So my
And then
roster's
for my
complete.
last pick, and here we go.
Oh, wow.
Really,
So you're going with D Rose?
I'm looking at my team now. IT, Mike, da da da.
My six man complements my power forward, by the way, Sabonis. We could sub those two.
Uh, yeah, bro.
Just putting
I
that out
think
there
I'm
for the
gonna have
chat,
to
by the
go
way,
D
for
Rose.
whoever's watching out there.
Go D Rose. So, all right, guys. The draft
It's
just
clear
finished.
as day that I have the better roster. I won. Thank you,
Look, I
Castillo.
have. Hey, 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 hey. So my team consists of Isaiah Thomas, Michael Jordan, Andrew Wiggins, Charles Barkley, Shaq on the Magic, and
Baby
Derrick
Shaq.
Rose.
Baby Shaq.
Juan has Kyrie, Kobe, LeBron, Sabonis, Patrick Ewing, and Scotty coming off the bench. So, with that being said, chat, we're gonna leave it up to your hands to vote. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like my team, but the fact that this damn lucky nerd over here got Kobe and LeBron on
Hey,
the same
hey,
team with
don't
Scotty
get to
coming
that
off the
point. You don't.
bench.
This is sad. This is sad. You don't have to get to this point. This is the first draft of many drafts. You don't have to get to this point.
I guess, bro. I guess. But with that being said, guys, that concludes today's episode. A couple questions we are gonna ask you guys to interact with is, will you be playing Call of Duty or Battlefield when those games come out? Who is the next face of the NBA? Is load management good for the NBA? And who drafted the better team? So with that being said, JJ's next play is out. We will have another episode at some point next week. Just tune in, follow us on our Instagram, and we'll be posting whenever we go either live on video games or when we post another episode. With that being said, Julio out. Juan?
Peace out. Follow us on Spotify.
All right, guys. Later. Peace.